Gone.
Shalom.
All right, we are the Stream of Wisdom. We are the Stream of Wisdom Rochester. So we're here at 1600 Lyle Ave. Yes, Rochester 1600 Lyle Ave. So we're Stream of Wisdom, and this is our Thursday night live class for the YouTube channel. Of course, you know we have the classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Just in case you might be new, you're local to the area, and you want to join. You're like, oh, it's Thursday, y'all only like classes? No. So you can actually join us Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And that's from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Then you got Houston. You got Houston, which they're working on their new building. So once they get that new building and everything settled together, they'll get back to the regular schedule, which would be like on a Monday, Wednesday, classes, same classes, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. But they're working on the school building right now. So once they get that up and running, we'll be right back. They'll be right back on Wednesdays, live. So, and then we have Virginia, which is 2016 Granby Street. So that's 2016 Granby Street for Virginia. That's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And they stream basically every day. They stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Facebook. And then on Fridays, they stream live on YouTube. And then they'll have that, if you're local, they have the Shabbat noon class, which will be around 12 noon, 12:30 noon. Till about 5 or till questions are done. So we have that as well too. And San Antonio, we have the brothers in San Antonio too as well. That's 444 Walsham Road, Suite 201. That's San Antonio, Texas. And their classes are Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and they stream on YouTube every day on those times. And that's from 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then on Saturdays, they stream as well for the Shabbat morning class, which is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you can catch them on at that time, right? And we also have the Blog Talk Radio, which is the blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. And his classes are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's where if you're driving around, and, you're waking up in the morning, you're showering, you're getting dressed for work, you're driving to work, you can play that as your radio station, as you're, going to work or whatever you're doing at that time. That starts at 10 a.m. So that's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. And then we also have the 5 Minutes of Wisdom, the Hidden True Bible Show, the Israelite Media Corp, and the kids classes, right? So those are different avenues and different ways to just share the truth. 5 Minutes of Wisdom, something quick to dish out to somebody that you might cross paths with, and you probably, interacting with them, you're like, okay, this person looks like they can deal with an hour-long video. How can we get their mind built up to an hour-long video? Well, you got 5 minutes of wisdom, right? Then this person don't seem like they can watch an hour-long video, but they into documentaries. You got Hidden True Bible Show, which can be from 20 to 30 minutes, and 15, 25 minutes. It can vary, right? Depending on what it's about, what's the topic. But you can send them based on what you realize this person can handle, right? And then it says Israelite Media Code, which is the news. So you might be dealing with an elderly person. A lot of elderly people like to watch news. So you give them news, but you give them the understanding with the Bible, then you can reach them, right? So just different streams of being able to reach our brothers and sisters. And of course, kids class, right? We got kids class, and that's held on Sundays, right? That's held on Sundays out here in Rochester, but on Saturdays, the kids class will be posted on the YouTube channel. So the kids class will be posted on the kids YouTube channel, right? And they don't have that here, but would it be?
What's that?
Kids YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Oh.
S.O.W.
Yeah.
S.O.W. Children of Light.
Right. So that's S.O.W. Children of the Light, and you can also follow them on Instagram and TikTok if you just want to stay updated on things, things that they might be doing for the children that you might want to do at home with your children, right? So on Instagram, it's SOW_children_of_light. And then on TikTok, it's SOW Children of Light, all together, right? And then, of course, we got the feast day coming up, right? Well, we got the Memorial of the Blowing of Trumpets, which is October 2nd sundown to October 3rd sundown. So that's the feast that's coming up. And then right after that, we got Day of Atonement. That's October 11th sundown to October 12th sundown. Then right after that, you got Feast of Tabernacles, which is October 16th sundown all the way to October 23rd sundown. So you got a little bit of a back-to-back-to-back, right? So take advantage of that. Set your schedule aside for one of those. Shoot, if you can, all three of them. If you can, two of them. But at least try to make one of them, right? So gather together. So let's try to do that. We got the Israel wear as well. We got Israel wear as well. So we got Israel wear, and that's basically fringed up. Israel wear is basically, oh excuse me, I'm mixing. Israel wear is merged with Chosen Creations to where now you can get your custom garment. So Chosen Creations is merged together with Israel wear for those that like to get custom garments, custom armbands for a brother, headbands. Brothers get vests, right? Custom vests, right? Custom dickies, but with Israelite, with an Israelite spin to it, right? With an Israelite, you get tapped in. Right, your closet is overrun with Israelite gear. So and even for sisters can get stuff too. You can get you a feminine headband, right? You can get you, and then being that it's all together, Chosen Creations, they got bracelets, they got jewelry, they got earrings. You can engrave a cup, you can engrave a shofar that's mixed with metal, right? So you can get a bunch of different things done, but it's basically to your liking. So that's dealing with the Chosen Creations. So Chosen Creations is Israel wear, fringed up, and Israel wear, fringed up. Because fringed up is you get a shirt every month. So you get a shirt like what I'm wearing, or a shirt like what Zion's wearing every month, right? And that's the subscription, right?
No, brother, you can't get what I'm wearing.
That's
Hey,
that was custom.
Exclusive.
hey, this is exclusive, brother. You know what I mean? No, man. But no, this not on the website yet.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, coming soon.
I'm trying it out, right? Seeing how it look.
Right.
But it will be on the website. The berets, right? The armbands, all these different custom garment pieces that sisters have put their spirit in is on there so that you can support, man. I mean, you see what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. You see the diddler, right? We see what's going on with just the industry in itself.
Right.
Yeah. We just dropped a video of a grown man saying it's okay to wear a dress.
Yeah.
And he don't have no breast.
Right.
Right? Tattoos, express yourself.
Right, he's tackling people.
So we see the deception in the world, so how much more it is high time to put off this Greek fashion, right? To put off this Greco-Roman fashion and ideas, and put on now true culture. Right. How much more now in your apparel, like the brother, we would have him show this vest, and shirts that he gets, right? But these are the things that, man, that will cause people to say, man, what is that? Yeah. Why do you wear? I keep seeing a lot more people wear those little things on the bottom of your shirt. What is that? And now you have the opportunity to do what? To show forth that these are fringes. This is what God's children, this is what God told his children to wear.
Come on.
This is what men like Solomon and David wore. Esther, Ruth, right? Judith. This is what they wore. So I'm going to say it, man. The sisters, Shawashana, Shalamaya, shout out to Rakama out there doing a lot of brothers' garments. Listen, they spent time over the years, right? There's a lot of individuals that have learned from them and still went on to do great work, but you know where you got it from. You know where that stitching and that style came from. Right? So, double honor to the elders, not only men, but also women with their gift that the Most High has put in their hand, right? Putting a hand to that spindle. So if you want a garment, it's Passover time, get your orders in, right? You better get it now, because when Passover time, especially this year's in Rochester, it's going down in the Rock. If you have not looked for an Airbnb, if you have not looked for a Passover garment, if you say you don't, congregate with us, get you a Passover garment. Rochester 2025, Most High willing, Passover is going to be off the chain, man. You know what I'm saying? We turn it up for the Heavenly Father on that high holy day. What you got?
I was telling people they might have to make sure they get some Timbs, maybe.
There you go.
It might be cold.
You can get you some Timbs.
And a North Face coat.
North Face coat. But as the time gets closer for those that will be coming out, don't worry about it. I got you on Airbnb locations. There's also another app which a brother out here is already doing his due diligence. It's called Verbo, VRBO. That's another app that has high quality locations. You know, with us, you know, it's what's the saying that we say? Classy, never trashy, right? So we're gonna make sure that you in a nice spot, right? 5-star, nothing less, you know. So once that time comes, we'll be able to send out that information for brothers that's coming from Albuquerque, from San Antonio, from Houston to Arkansas, Moshe and his family, right? We got y'all, right? We got y'all, so we'll be looking out for y'all. But again, man, support, man. These shirts, these pants, level up, man. You know what I'm saying? Actually, give your spirit in what the Most High has given us as a body. You know, and I'm gonna say it, man. Chosen Creations is doing their thing. Set up prayers. We're trying to make some bigger moves into bigger corporations. So, you know, set your prayers up for that. But if you can, man, check out Chosen Creations on Etsy. Right, man. They got, you see the boards, right? We got the pictures. You know, right. But we have it all. So again, man, like, share, and subscribe to those channels. Those images that we put up, support, man. You know, if you say you congregate or this is your school, man, put your brick in. You know, if you're from a distance, if you're in-house, you know what it is already. You know, give your spirit. Like Paul said, he said, I labor more abundantly. How are you laboring? Yes, right? And as we see the sisters as the examples, the elder sisters, right? And the elder brothers, right? Those are leaders. They show forth through all the things that they're creating and that they're showing. All right. So we'll continue with the announcements.
Right. That's okay. Watch it online.
Right. So with that, we also got the Hebrew Academy. We got the Hebrew Academy. That's in Virginia and Virginia and Rochester. That's Monday. So that's Monday for the brothers that, you know, want to get be a part of the Hebrew Academy. You can do that as well. But that's after 6 months, right? And, you know, 6 months time period. You evaluate. You say to them, well, wow, I see what's going on. I want to be a part of the work. I want to be a part of help. I want to be a part of the aiding, right? I want to be what Yahushua said. He said, I came not to minister. I came not to be ministered unto, but to minister also. Right? So if you want to be a part of that, you can do that as well.
Yeah, that minister, he came to be a servant.
Right.
He came to give himself. A minister is a servant, which means you will be used, right? People will be calling your phone. So for those that try to say, I don't want to bug you, you know, you might be busy. No, I'm busy doing the Lord's work. So please call because I'm your servant. Yeah. We're here for you.
That's what we make time for.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The whole life is circled around making time to make sure that we're able to help at all times. So it's a 24-hour call service.
There you go.
Right? And physical, if it has to be as well. Right? So, but we have in Houston, their Hebrew Academy is on Tuesdays. So if you want to contact any of the priests, like you were just saying, just for any questions, any counsel, marriage questions, dealing with children, depression, anxiety, frustration, masturbation, what else? You got a thieving spirit. You need help with any one of those things, the brothers is here.
Right, you're schizophrenic, bipolar.
Right, bipolar.
Hey,
yeah.
You hear voices.
Yeah, you hear voices. The Most High saying what? You got to do what? Counsel. So you got that too. So you can call Priest Kazaki at 757-300-4047. Priest Quadazah 303-557-8979. Priest Zion 346-234-8340. So you can contact any of the priests with those numbers, right? So but that'll be all for the announcements. So
you guys, yeah, you know. So if anybody has a question, we were gonna go over a question for a brother. We're still gonna go through it, man. It's online. He had a question on the Immaculate Conception. What's wrong with this microphone? It's a question on the Immaculate Conception, right? Dealing with the virgin birth, right? So it's always a good topic to refreshing ourselves on because this is something that is of a basic, but for a lot of brothers and sisters coming in from the world, right? Coming in from the church, they were never properly taught, right? The Bible. So there's a lot of misconceptions that brothers and sisters have. Misconceptions is a misunderstanding about a subject or something, right? They have a misconception over these these doctrinal issues, right? So that we're going to go through and clarify that through the scriptures, right? Because coming into now being a Hebrew Israelite, we no longer, we're constantly killing that American mind. We're constantly killing and listen to what I'm saying, that Christian mentality that we learned in church. You see that? And now we're truly learning Christ truthfully, right? Like the scripture says in John, in spirit and in truth. So this class is needed. But did anybody have anything in class that y'all want to touch on real quick?
Blah.
Okay. And I mean, how many times have we touched this? But can you break it down? Right? So, the Heavenly Father brings these classes back around because you need it. You might walk, a friend might come up to you and ask you the question about it. Well, what about this Jesus, being a Greek god like, demigod, born of a virgin? What is that? Right? So then you have what? You have the ammo to now to be able to educate and teach our people. Right? Instead of, making it seem as if you should have known this. No, a lot of our people don't know anything. So this is why the Father is bringing back to our remembrance the wisdom and the knowledge of these scriptures. So if we don't have any questions online, we're going to go ahead and go right into this. Shalom, family. We're going to go right into this Immaculate Conception. All right? To answer the brother's question.
All right, so tonight's class, like you said, is about the Immaculate Conception. So just going straight into it, the first point is identifying marriage according to Israelite law. Identifying marriage according to Israelite law. So identifying marriage according to Israelite law. So let's go to Leviticus 19 and verse 29. Right? Because what we're going to find out is just how serious Israelites took marriage. Contrary to what the world teaches today, right? And, when you deal with it in marriage, and when you deal with marriage nowadays, it's taken lightly. It's not taken as serious. It's not taken serious till I physically walk down the pulpit with you, which kind of makes people skip in the mind and think that they can just play around with a man or a woman, or a man can play around with a woman. And that makes it a joke. It makes it something unserious. That's where you get whoremongering from, right? Because people don't think that they're doing anything wrong by just messing around.
Right.
Because that's not, the pastor ain't teaching that, right? The church ain't teaching that, and the world definitely not teaching that. So nobody's enlightening anybody on anything as far as just how serious and how does God even view marriage?
Right, because we only know marriage from a American standpoint.
Right.
Right. We know marriage as, again, you walk down the altar.
Right.
But as we see and as we go through the scriptures, we're going to get it now. Hebraic, not saying that wasn't a form of marriage, right?
Right.
But we're now learning through the law, right? Because very important, even dealing with Matthew's, Joseph, take Mary your wife.
Right.
Wait a minute. Well, how was she his wife?
Right.
If they never slept together, if they never went down the ceremonial line,
right?
How was now this woman his wife? How was they married if they've never laid and if they never went through the ceremony?
That's the question.
And that's the question that we got to ask ourselves. If the angel now told Joseph, take Mary your wife.
Yeah.
Y'all see that? The Bible isn't confusing. The Most High is not the author of confusion.
Yeah.
So this is why we have to go through now these points to now get the understanding, right, of our culture, to even understand what was really going on during Joseph's time. So very, very, very good, very important.
Con. So let's go to that Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29.
Right? Everybody there? All right, con. Let's let everybody catch up. But this is what we're figuring out. Those are questions we gotta ask ourselves that people. I mean, you y'all probably personally had this experience, but we run across a lot of people that say that when they left the church, whether they end up finding out they was Israelite or they ended up dabbing into some other form of knowledge, they end up saying that they couldn't ask questions. They got kicked out of the church when they started asking questions.
Right.
Right? That's what tended to happen.
Yeah.
So these answers was left. These questions that was running in their mind was left what? Blank. It was left blank, so they ran with the thought that the Bible was a lie. Because then they started running on YouTube or running across somebody by an Afrocentric shop or ran across some random white guy or they went to college, right? And they start working with Bill, and Bill tells them about Scientology.
Yeah.
And it starts to sound sweet to their ear. But they get baited because the church ain't telling them the truth. We got baited because what? The church ain't telling us the truth. And a lot of people weren't able to ask questions because they would get shunned for asking questions. Yeah. Right? And that's an issue. But because the Most High always says to be ready to give an answer to them that ask you according to your faith. I'm paraphrasing the verse, but always be ready to answer according to somebody that's asking you a question. And this is a question that people tend to ask. So we have to slow down and really get the details of what the Most High is showing us in that interaction with Joseph and Mary, but showing us back in the law how to get the clarity of what that situation actually was. Right? So that whole Bible, that's what Christ had come through the whole Bible. So let's read that.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29.
And mind you, keep in mind, this is a law. So read that.
Do not prostitute.
Do not what?
Do not prostitute.
Do not prostitute. Let's look up the definition of prostitute. Let's look up the definition of prostitute, because that's a heavy thing. So it started off the statement by blatantly saying, don't whore out your daughter. Don't sell her. Right? Don't sell her in this fashion where you just trying to what? You got to pimp, you pimping her.
Right.
You pimping her out. You treat her like a bag. Like she's the dude, somebody's offering you a bag. Right. I'm offering you $100K, and then now I'm looking at her like a bag. She looked to me like, now I don't even see a human. I see an emoji. I see a $sign bag emoji. I see what look like little baby. Everything is money.
Right. Dang.
Right? Nothing, I can't, if I'm doing something, it gotta be involved with money.
Right. Not like the parents today that brought their 15-year-old, 14-year-old daughter to Kelly to
Diddy.
Kelly to Diddy.
Oh man.
Right, brought them to the parties.
Right.
It's like if our people really understood the Bible and read, how much less trauma will be within our people, man.
God.
Like, do not prostitute your daughter. Don't now give your daughter for some money or whatever type of favor that you're gonna receive. This is wild. Yeah. Because it's so prevalent right now. Yeah. Diddy is prostituting his own son.
Both of all of them. He got models. He got model trainers coming to the house to train his daughters how to walk on a runway.
Looking at the twins. The
twins. These are little girls, and they training them how to walk on a runway for a show where they're gonna wear strange clothes and they're gonna be showing revealing apparel. And then when they get old enough, they're gonna be wearing the clothes that people are already wearing now, times 10 worse.
Look at that.
Because why? Women are wearing clothes where they're not putting on no bras. They're not putting on no bras, no covering, no nothing. It's not like it's a modest fashion show about modest apparel. Right. Like educational while still having an enjoyable moment, a memorable moment. They're just doing what? They're just doing things to feed their lusts and to put creepy things out in the world. That's the word you gotta use for it, because that's what it is. It's creepy. Yeah. You gotta dress. This is about as much as what covers your skin, and then everything else is showing your stomach. Then you got a skirt. The skirt go from right here to right here. Right. So everything, you basically naked. You basically wearing a blanket, a cut up blanket that you cut up at home. That's basically what they're wearing, but that's what they're doing when they're prostituting their daughters before they even become physical.
Respect me.
Right.
I need my respect.
That's the same woman asked for that.
Right.
That's the same type of statements they make, though. Respect me. But they don't even respect themselves. What you gonna say, Ryan?
Man, we was working in the mall today, man. And like y'all said, that's happening too. But it was four like teenage boys walking around that was sodomites, that was dressed in cut clothes and dressed in little. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. And they're giggling, just walking around. Yeah. Like in 18, 19 years old. And they're trying to wear the apparel of what women, them young girls is wearing, the tight leggings and stuff like that. I'm like, damn.
That's sad.
You can just see what America has done.
It's defiled everybody.
Yeah. It's
defiled Israelites. It's defiled. You got Muslims twerking. You got Ethiopians twerking. And you wouldn't even find those videos back in the day online. But now those things is prevalent. They doing weird stuff, all types of weird stuff. But the Most High is showing us here that what? We're not supposed to prostitute our daughters. Like, even think about it just on a level with just our, like, that's the celebrity we talking about, right? And what they're doing with their weird witchcraft that they're doing, right? That they know that what they're consciously, maliciously doing. And when you think about just how people now, what happens to the little girls in the mall, or it just even in the supermarket? You see them wearing clothes that, they're wearing sports bras out to the house. They're wearing booty shorts out to the house. They're wearing those little boxer briefs that are for men, and they're wearing that as his clothes. They were like grown women, and then they got their little daughters doing the same thing. Then you got a woman matching with clothes with their daughters, right? And the man is standing there too sometimes. Yeah. And she's walking around naked. But the Most High is saying we're not supposed to prostitute our daughters. This is how serious the Most High took it. He took it down even before he got physical. Like, not just I'm literally having sex and I'm jumping with this man and this woman and that woman. He literally thinking about just even how you walk around and how you consciously think throughout the day. So he's like, don't just let your daughter, your son, don't let your kids just run around rampant.
Right.
Is what he's saying, being lewd. Read.
Verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter.
Read.
To cause her to be a whore.
To what?
To cause her to be a whore.
Because that path will lead her toward being a whore. Who got the definition? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Armand. Prostitute.
Prostitute. A person who engages in sex acts.
Right.
And especially sexual intercourse in exchange for money. Right.
But what else you got? That's the definition. That's on point. Right. But then this even like you got that was a Webster 1828?
It's a Webster, yeah.
Webster 1828. Go ahead, I'll tell her.
Offer for sexual activity in exchange for payment.
Right. And think about it. The Most High just want us, you just throwing out your daughter like a rag doll. Like that dirty mop that you just ready to throw away. Right? You ready to get rid of it. What you got on Kalai?
Prostitute. To give up to any vile or infamous purpose.
Boom. To give up for any vile or infamous purpose. Think about it. You got a lot of infamous women right now. And they're popular off whoredom. We have the women that you know now, like DC Young Fly, his baby moms. She was doing what? She was a wild and out girl, dressing naked, halfway naked, but then ended up becoming a wife. But she became popular, infamous, for what? Just being a model?
Amber Rose.
She's throwing herself out left and right. She became popular for being what? Kanye's girl, but a model.
And she became popular for don't slut shame me.
Oh, and that took it to another level, right? Whoredom. So she got popular off whoredom. Then she what? She blew up off whoredom. So everybody know her for whoredom. Infamous. So don't make your daughter become somebody infamous, where you're not implementing nothing in them, right? And it's dangerous. But we're seeing how serious the Most High took about the modesty and I'm gonna use the word chasteness. It's right, that purity of a woman. He cared about the purity of a woman in her mind and in her physical appearance, how she moved around and how she thought, how she thought and how she talked. So the Most High took this very serious. So for somebody to call you his wife, that's a very serious statement. That's a heavy-weighted statement in Hebrew culture, which is what we are. We're Israelites, right? So we're trying to learn how to get closer to the Father by learning how he takes these things serious. What things does the Most High take serious so I can start caring for those same things? So don't prostitute thy daughter. Don't make her infamous. Don't let her be infamous for the wrong reason. Don't let her be known for the wrong reasons. Read.
To cause her to be a whore.
Because it'll lead her to being a whore. Because then she'll just only know about the outward appearance. That's how you get Cassie, she get caught up. That's how you get the Kim Porters get caught up. That's how you get these video vixens where they write tell-all books later on about how they was dealt with by celebrities.
Right, passed off to Tupac.
Right. Like I didn't even know that. Like Aaliyah's been with Dame Dash, been with Jay-Z, been with R. Kelly. Who else? She done been with everybody. And this was they met her when she was a little girl.
Rihanna.
Oh, Rihanna. Oh, she was jumping around.
Jay-Z had her 15.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah, Jigga. That's nasty. Jay-Z. Oh, Jay-Z had Beyonce at a young age too, right?
Nah.
Foxy Brown.
Nah.
Foxy Brown?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but we're seeing how they're in these dangerous situations.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous to put your daughter, even your son, put them in intimate settings, and it's not under the right fashions. Yeah. It's not in the right way. It's not according to the Hebrew way. Right? Go ahead.
Least the land fall to order.
Because then that example of her being so-called famous for the wrong reasons will do what to the land?
Least the land fall to order.
So you think, let's ask this question, keep this thought in your brain as we go through the class.
Yeah.
You think the Most High would have a story where Mary is supposed to birth the chosen, the savior of Israel, show them how to get away from sin, but then have a husband, Joseph, on earth, but an angel impregnated him? Because that would make the land go to whoredom. Well, if one of God's angels could do it, I can do it. That's what would happen. I mean, look at the type of excuses our people make nowadays. Right?
Right. It ain't no fun unless the angel got some.
Right. What? Somebody would literally say that.
Don't say that.
Somebody would literally say that. So the Most High is showing us the importance, how serious he took Israelite marriage. Right? Because we're showing the difference between Israelite marriage customs, let me not say customs, but laws, versus American ways, I want to say traditions of marriage, right? Traditions of marriage. So we're learning the proper way of marriage. So I want you to get this definition of law, though. And then we're going to go to the next verse, which is Ecclesiastes 7:25. Somebody hold the Ecclesiastes 7:25. Somebody... Well, I got a definition for law. My bad. I'll read it. I'll read the law definition. But somebody get Ecclesiastes 7:25.
When we finish?
You can drop that. Yeah, we read that. We read that. So, the title for the class was Mary Laid with Joseph. And then you can put Immaculate Conception next to it. Mary laid with Joseph. And you can put Immaculate Conception next to it. So, this is the definition for law. Because we're going over the law of how the Most High, how Israelites looked at marriage, how serious the people took it, and how they were raised to take it seriously and not just jump into just anybody's pants and anybody's just random situations. It's like the dude who was talking to you yesterday. They took their time, actually, right?
Yeah.
The dude was talking. They took their time.
Yeah, because he knew her when at an early age.
Right.
Their family knew each other. Their family was amongst each other's cookouts.
Backstory real quick so they know.
Okay, so we just talking about a brother that we met in the mall yesterday, but I'm recanting in my memory that it was actually, they took their time. Yeah. So it wasn't, I was using this as an example, I was going to use it as an example to show that how our people rush, but I remember that they took their time. So that's kind of what this story's coming from. Yeah. But go ahead.
Their family knew each other. They, they didn't really get to speak to each other. They seen each other. And when, they had family function, then later on, the guy got married. It didn't go well. He had a divorce. He got his kids. And then her and his childhood friend started meeting up and seeing each other again. But it was on the friend level. And they was just getting to know each other for some years. And then she just, out of nowhere, she used to come over, help, because he had two or three kids. Yeah, two. She used to help him, and then she was like, one day she packed her bags and she just moved in with him. He ain't say nothing like, you can't move in. And then they just got married after that. Yeah, they took the time, and then they just naturally progressed. But typically that's not what happened in our communities. That right there. Typically is you see them in the club and then you just jump. Everybody just jumping at each other and it's just going off the lust factor. But we're going to go to this definition of law just to show what? How serious it is and how did the Most High look at things? Why did he set things up this specific way? It's to protect the people. It's to protect the brother. It's to protect the sister. So law, this is the definition. Y'all can write it down. Law, a rule. So this is a rule. A rule
particularly an established or permanent rule, a rule, particularly an established or permanent rule. So when we're seeing that Leviticus chapter 19:29 is established, it's been established, but it's a permanent rule. It's a permanent law that it don't just apply to. That's in the ancient days when they used to ride camels and horses. Now we're riding Ferraris and Beamer Benz and Bentley, so it don't apply.
It has to be modernized. What is it?
Modernized?
Yeah, modernized now.
Yeah.
The law has to now change. It has to now fit for the time that we're in.
Yeah.
As we see, that's not the case.
No, it said permanent rule.
There you go.
Yeah, and like the brother trying to make the new religion. No, these rules are permanent.
Right.
They help humans learn how to be spiritual beings like the Most High.
Yeah.
So they teach us how to function in life. And the Most High gives us the ability He taught us how to create within the guidelines of the rules. He taught us how to be creators in the guidelines of the rules, so we don't have to think outside of the rule. The rule protects us from ourselves because we'll destroy ourselves. And the rule being what? Let's use the biblical term, the law. The law exists to protect us from ourselves. So it says a rule, particularly an established or permanent rule. Then it says prescribed. It says prescribed by the supreme power of a state to its subjects. So this is the Most High. It says prescribed by the supreme power of a state to its subjects. So this is the Most High, is that supreme power. And we're His subjects. So we're following His guidelines, His laws. His laws, when we listen to Him, it keeps us safe. It keeps us away from danger. It keeps us away from making a daughter or a son into a whore. Right? Keep a son and a daughter far away from being a whore. So it says prescribed by the supreme power of a state to its subjects. It says for, and this is the key part y'all want to hear about the definition. It says for regulating their actions. So it says prescribed by the supreme power of a state to its subjects for regulating their actions. You see that? When you look at that definition, it coincides with the scripture. It coincides with what the scriptures are saying with all the laws that we have. It's there so it can regulate our actions. Because what did David say? He said, I was as a beast before you. So without these regulations, these rules and regulations, we would just be running wild.
Right.
I mean, look at it. People are breaking the rules. The rules say to put on some modest clothes, cover yourself, but then everybody's trying to break the rule and make it seem like the rule was never there. Or the rule didn't mean that. Or they try to find some sort of definition that somebody created in the 2015, and the 2015 definition says you can do it if you want to. That's the type of definitions they look for. But when you go into the original definition on why these words were created, you'll see that it's saying you must do these things. It's not an option. But the reason why that's there is because it's so that you can regulate, for regulating their actions. And look at this last part of the definitions. It says particularly their social actions. It says particularly their social actions. And what happens that gets a man and a woman together? What happens that get a man and a woman together? Question. Based off this last statement, I'm going to read it again. It says, for regulating their actions, particularly their social actions. How does a man and a woman get together? Go ahead, Clyde. Talking. What you going to say? Courting. Which is talking. No, talking. Right? You're interacting, you're intermingling, like you was just talking about the dude. They were in these different spaces where it wasn't a date, it wasn't I'm trying to hit on you, it was just social environments, and they kept being in the same social environment, and what happened? They ended up getting together eventually.
Yeah, that's one of the things he kept harping on when he was talking about her. It's like it was a gift from God, because he never even thought of her in that way. It just happened. Like, he didn't even think about getting her. All the times he's seeing her and they talk and they converse, his mind wasn't even on that.
Right.
And it just happened.
It just happened. It just fell on his lap. But that was because they was in the social moment. They was having these social moments, so they grew these affections for each other. Especially, he's helping her because he was in a sticky situation. Yeah. She's helping him take care of the kids. So it's like it's natural. It naturally just happened because they was in these social moments. But the Most High tries to regulate these moments. So y'all got to see why I went to this definition and why we went to that verse first. It's to show how serious the Most High takes these things. He's watching our social actions so that we don't make the wrong move. That you don't enter into the wrong situation. So why would he set up, again, keep that thought in your mind. Why would he have an angel come down to put a baby in the belly and then go talk to the husband? Like, go tell, I impregnated your wife. She's your wife too. I impregnated Mary. She's your wife too. Black dude gonna lose it.
Right.
Black man gonna lose it. I mean, think about it.
My virgin?
No,
that was mine. I paid for that.
Right.
I waited for that.
Right. I talked to her parents. Gotta think about that. I mean, think about it. Jacob wrestled with the angel for his blessing. Now he did it in the right spirit. He was doing that in the right spirit. That was up the spirit of the Most High. But imagine a dude out the spirit, but still having that same level of bravery. He gonna lose his mind. He's going to lose his mind. But let's go to Ecclesiastes 7:25. So we see the definition of law. It says, an established or permanent rule prescribed. That means it's medicinal.
Right. And real quick, we had a quick question. So how do you treat these women that go to church and dress in a provocative way and is the pastor's wife? I mean, that's just common activity in the church, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not regulated by a law.
No.
Because the church says the law's done away with, right? The laws of Moses is no longer here. Yeah. So the guidance now to keep ourselves in line with the Father, to keep us moral, there's no standard.
No.
Right? It's con. So who's at fault? Both.
Yeah.
Right? Because the Bible shows a woman now how to dress. Right? It speaks about modest attire. Yeah. Right? It speaks about a woman wearing now a dress. Right? Wearing not men-like clothing. You know, so, and I don't want to jump too far off the class, but, you know, this is the reason why the Father gave us ordinances to follow. Yeah. Right? So that we wouldn't have to overthink to see what's right and what's wrong. Or make our own assumption of what's right and what's wrong. The Father already gave us good understanding, good doctrine now to go off of. You know, even when it came down to dress code. Think about that. How you in a church with your breast out? Make no sense. What you really there for? Huh? You trying to catch you a man on the not the pulpit, but the pew? Right? You want to treat the church like it's a club? That's the problem with our people, man. Right? We want to treat the church like it's a club because that's how now the leadership runs it. Come in and pay your ticket, right? Pay your alms, and now you can come in and get a little bit of piece of the pie that's up in here. Right? But make sure you pay your alms though. Yeah. But this is why they're not upholding individuals to a standard. Why? Well, I want to walk around with my booty out. No, sis. You don't want to show your body like that because now you're gonna have men come at you in a different form of fashion than you would like. Right. You think you want a husband, but you finna catch you a booty call. Right? You finna catch the same thing that you've been doing out there in the streets. You still trying to use the same tactics in the streets, right? Now in the church. But it's because our people are not subjecting themselves to the Father's way.
No, that's super true. I mean, when you think about that, it's like people don't come in. They don't have no regulations to really protect the people when they come in the mall. I mean, I said mall, and they come into churches because it's like they just let anybody walk through, and it's like somebody don't even know the brother, his uncle, he got the nice suits. This brother just came out of prison. She don't even know nothing about him. But he's speaking sweet things. He's speaking sweet words to her. Yeah. And he just came out of prison. His mind is thinking, man, I ain't had nobody in a minute. Right. And she the church girl. She ditzy. Right. I see her. Yeah. I had nothing in a minute. And she's ditzy and don't know what's going on. And he's doing what? He's streaming the story. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get my life right. You know, give my life to Jesus. When I was in there that last 2.5 years, I was in the church. What they call that church in the prison house?
I don't know, prison sanctuary? I don't know.
Prison sanctuary.
Prison church.
Yeah, prison church. Right?
Prison hallelujah.
Prison hallelujah, right? They was in that prison. I was in that prison hallelujah strong.
Right.
And he came back. Man, I love wearing suits and ties now.
Right.
I ain't used to like to wear. I was always about the Michael Jordans and the Gucci and the Fendi. But now I like wearing suits, man. I was happy my uncle gave this to me. I'm working over there with my uncle too. You know, he got the landscaping business. That's how it used to go.
Yeah.
But knowing behold, they ain't setting up no parameters to make sure that this brother understood come into focus. What and just putting everybody on game to just be aware.
Yeah.
Be aware that just cause even though if it's a church, you gotta understand that people are coming here and they're sick and they're trying to get healed.
Yeah.
But we don't want our sicknesses to then vomit on each other. And now we just got a bunch of just vomiting food on each other spiritually, right? You spiritually vomiting on each other. But they don't set that up. You know, they don't set that up because they just say what? Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Church. Listen, the church don't even care. The church don't even care to now make rules and regulations to keep brothers and sisters safe.
No.
Right? Like we know naturally how we act as beasts.
Yeah.
They're coming in, like you said, sick, so they don't have any no type of moral compass to say, you know what, I'm here to learn.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why even with our school, we've always done that. Is that, man, when you come to the school, you gonna learn we don't care who, man, woman, you like her, she's cute, man. Listen, you gonna stay here for 6 months.
Right.
Right? You gotta stay here for 6 months, man, before you can even try to talk to somebody. Learn for 6 months, get your spirit built up so that now you'll be ready to be that leader that she needs. And she'll be able to, and mind you, that the 6 months is just class.
Yeah.
Right? That's before any talking. Then it progresses to a little bit of court, you know, a little phone conversation. See what's up. Because we know what it is when it comes to our people, infatuation. Oh man, he got a bald head, man. He looked like he got wisdom. He got muscles. Brother got long hair. He got skin like chocolate.
Right.
Right? Same thing with the sisters, man. She looks so sweet with that head wrap on, man. You know what I'm saying? Her voice, she says shalom, and it looked like she's twinkling on her toes when she walks through. I can only imagine how she'd be at the house, man, raising the children. It seems all good until you really start understanding that our people got issues. Right. And that person has issues too. Wow. Because a lot of us do what? We put up faces, we have faces, right? That is now, it's conning the people, man. Yeah. Right?
It's a heist.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like your bank heist. You come in there with your suit and tie like you about to deposit some money in your bank account.
Right.
But you ain't doing it. You came with the rest of the thieves.
Right. It ain't really what you think it is, man. You thought he was coming in to get some money out, but not the way you thought.
No.
But that's the same thing with our people, and that's why the Father is showing us, you know, the severity of relationships and not to take it so lightly. Yeah. Same thing with brothers and sisters coming in, man. Listen, get your spirit right so that your relationship can last, man. We're not those brothers that, oh yeah, get you a rib. Oh yeah, talk to a brother. You get you a real man. No, because that man's not a real man yet. He still got nigga ways in his mind. Yeah. She still got her mama's ways in her mind. Right. She don't respect the man. She don't know how to submit to a man. She doesn't know how to listen. So let her get some class. Like let her get some medication in that body to be able now to be a benefit. Yeah. And this is why the Most High is even showing us in the law why, and we're going to go into it, why men took, they took their time like in building their daughters up. Same thing with the men, so that now that they could be what? They could now be a pillar in that relationship. Yeah. You know what I mean? We just weren't hooking up with just anybody. Men weren't just letting their daughters lay with just anybody. You know, you had to be a noble name, right? A man of some type of character, high character, family of character. Yeah. You know, but nowadays it don't even work like that. Right? Women bring the man to their father, right? After you done did the deed. After you done laid with him, after a month or two, after y'all done, fought a few times, and now you want to bring him, talking about this is him. And your dad looking at him like, this your 15th man. Right. He just don't know. And you still ain't bringing him to me. You still ain't bringing him to me first. It's a problem, man. And this is why the Most High is showing us the standard, right? And this is why you have the chaos in the church with all those crazy stories. It's because there is no standard. Nobody is upholding brothers and sisters to what God is telling us to do, right? And how to look at one another. We're not a piece of meat That's not how we should be looking at each other, a piece of meat. Everything's sexualized in the world, man. And now the world wants to sexualize the Bible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want to fantasize the Bible now, like an angel came down and laid with Mary.
Yeah.
For mockery. For mockery's sake, man, confusion's sake. But that's not what the Bible says.
No. Not at all. Who got that Ecclesiastes 7:25? Because it expounds even just on what we're talking about. Now. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 25.
Right, just because I know you just came in on Kadash.
Chapel. My dad said it was a chapel.
Chapel.
Right. Chapel.
Chapel.
Yeah.
Right? Brother coming out of chapel.
Right. Do you believe in counsel before marriage? Yes. Yes. Who wouldn't want to? Yes. Who wouldn't want to go through marriage counsel? You gotta be ready to understand what you are getting involved with. Not only that, does that person believe what you believe? Or do we now give each other wolf tickets and be fake and not really transparent? So, you know, we never really get down to the important issues. A lot of times we overlook that, right? Because man, she's just sparkling in my face. I just feel so connected. It's always gonna be like that the first couple weeks.
Right.
First couple months, you don't know them. Right? You don't know none of her issues. You ain't seen none of her bipolar episodes. Same thing with the man, with the woman.
Yeah.
Sis, you ain't seen his inconsistencies, right? He gave you all those smooth words, but you don't know who else he was telling that to. You know what I'm saying? He might be a whoremonger. You might just be another one, like Rihanna said, on the hit list.
Right.
You know? So yes, marriage counsel is very important. Yeah. Right? But we gotta even understand what a marriage is. That's important.
Yeah. No, that's right on point. You know, that's why the Most High says with the law, we talking about marriage, the marriage aspect of the law, it says, no, it's good. It says, for regulating their actions, particularly their social actions. That's why it says that, and let's read this verse.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 25.
Marry
thy daughter.
Do what?
Marry thy daughter.
That's the beautiful thing to do. But there's a proper way to go about doing it. And we've been kind of expounding on them, right? It's saying marry thy daughter, but what's the part of it that makes it proper? Read.
And so shalt thou have performed a weightier matter.
We've been saying it, but it's saying it's a what?
A weightier matter.
It's a heavy thing. It's not a light matter. It's a heavy matter. People don't think about it like that. Like, dang, she look good. He look good. Man, let me go find some way to get close to the person. You sit in the decks next to him when you was in high school, right? You try to work in the area that they work at the job. You try to pass by on lunch. Yo, she likes to go to Chipotle for lunch, right? I'm gonna go to Chipotle with her for lunch, right? Or I'm gonna pull up over there and she ain't even gonna know, but we gonna start talking, right? Or vice versa. We gonna start talking. He's gonna start talking to me. You try to do these different things, but people just do it in a light manner. It's just it's to just say the smooth things. Yeah. It's just to get the dopamine effect.
Right, the sweet nothings.
The sweet nothings, right? You throwing dynamites, right? You shooting dice, wishing that you get it right, right?
Right.
But that's the trick. When you do it, when you take it for a light matter. Shoot, I don't care. We here every day. Like we be hearing it in the mall every day. So I don't care. She got up a doink. Right. I don't care. He rich. Right.
I wish they say it like that too.
Right? Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Hi.
Right. Man, they say these things, but they'll like blatantly disregard the things that they see. Yeah. What did your friend say the other day? When he was in the mall?
Which one?
He makes the music.
Oh yeah. What point?
Oh, he was saying about when he met his lady, or when you meet somebody and you overlook certain things because of love.
Oh yeah. He never examined his situation while he was in love with her, because just being with her took all his time and it clouded his mind.
Right.
So he never got the chance to analyze what was going on between him and her at that time until he took a step back.
So what was going on?
He didn't get that deep.
He's still figuring it out.
He's still, yeah.
When he was telling
us, know it ain't right.
He just knows something went wrong that he overlooked because of his emotions for her.
Oh,
yeah.
So they're not together anymore?
No.
Oh yeah.
So he just go ahead.
And then
she ran through
the counsel he got was from friends that was in the world.
There you go.
that was telling him different things to look at it from different angles that didn't even add up to the situation.
Right.
So he took that bait, and then he got it out of relationship. And just because he felt better through the separation, he was like, okay, this is the relief from it, because I was going through something. So it took me just separating and breaking up with her for this peace. And then he found out after he had a kid, he got with the next girl, and they wasn't really working out, but he got her pregnant. So then they got back together because he really couldn't. So he did the same thing over again.
Right.
And then who was he counseling with? He was counseling with his mom. He told me that.
Right.
He told me that. He's like,
no, go ahead.
He said, I was counseling with my mom when I had a lot on my mind. And I was like, damn. In my head, I'm like, this is who I counsel with. You see your brother right here, Shaquat? I counsel with that, men of strength. No, I'm just saying, that's what I told him. I counsel with a men of strength that's in the Bible, that's giving biblical concepts that never failed. He was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I get that. But he's not.
He said, yeah, come, but I'm going to go still counsel with mama.
That's basically what it was.
The water brother, but I like, my mama got it right.
Right, that's basically what that was. Y'all know him too. Yeah. But he basically was overwhelmed by the emotion of what he liked, whatever it was that sparked his liking for her. But he overlooked her lack of zeal to want to grow and change.
Yeah, that's
what it was. He overlooked her lack of zeal of wanting to grow and change, because he's at a stage and point where he wants to grow and change.
He ain't been burnt, obviously.
He
ain't been taken advantage of, man. Because you get taken advantage one time. A lot of times you like, man, you very circumspect.
Right.
Sound like he got duped.
That's what it was. Hating our laborers works, because he had to put work in to push her to a point and to motivate her.
And
to
that was
get her
his
work.
part.
Yeah,
that was his fault, and her demon overwhelmed him. Right. Basically, because she didn't have the zeal to push forward, and then he didn't have the knowledge. So I'm saying he was ignorant because he's in the world.
Right.
He doesn't have the knowledge. Let me say it like that. He doesn't have the knowledge to know that you have to put the work in and invest in this person the right way to get the best out of them. Yeah. But that's why it's saying marry thy daughter, so shall thou have performed the weighty matter, because you have to you're trying to search and seek for the best suitor for your daughter and for your son. You're trying to search and seek for the best suitor. But keep in mind, just the topic. I don't want to lose the main topic, which is about Mary and Joseph. They actually laid together. So this is a serious thing that the Most High is showing us about marriage. Even just the conversation part, the courting part. Before we get to even saying, oh, I'm gonna let my daughter talk with your son, or my son talk with your daughter. Before you even get to that point, the examination of the family and the son is even a serious part.
Right.
But we don't know that part nowadays. The church leaders hanging with that. And they don't even know. Right? They don't even, because they went to theologian school, and theologian school is definitely teaching them the way that the Romans look at the Bible. The way that Esau looks at the Bible. The way the white man looks at the Bible. Which is what? A lust fest. Yeah. They look at the Bible and they tweak the whole thing and made it into an orgy. That's how they look at the Bible, like an orgy. Because everything's sensual. Everything's sexual. Everything's feed the belly. Everything's twisted up. The Bible says don't eat pork. They try to use Peter's interaction with the Most High as if he was saying eat pork when he was talking about people. Right. They just want to twist everything. But the Most High is showing us when you marry a daughter, you perform a weighty matter. But what's the weighty matter? You'll do your careful consideration to make sure this happens. Read.
But give her to a man of understanding.
And you're trying to give her to a man of wisdom, a man that has godly characteristics in him, and a desire and an aspiration to continually, throughout his lifetime, please the Most High. Right? Susanna had a godly husband. Right? Her parents taught her, then it passed on to her husband. Her husband was teaching her, and she was prepared to go to war against those demons that tried to sick themselves on her. She's like, I'd rather fall in the hands of God. Yeah. That struck them a little bit to where they left. But that hurt their pride. They was priests. So that little bit struck them to where they left. It hurt their pride. Right? And what happened? They ran with that pride and tried to falsely accuse her. But the Most High was shielding her because the parents did the job, she was doing her job, the husband was doing his job. So everything was able to work in harmony. To where the Most High was able to protect her. Undefiled moments. So the Most High ain't gonna bring the chosen son in a defiled moment to save the people. It's what we gotta see. It's not a light thing to just give up your daughter. Oh, here, hey, Michael, go put a baby in Mary. That's strange. That's unfamiliar behavior of biblical people and how God has set the order and laid the order down in heaven and on earth. Excuse me, right? But let's go to Ecclesiastes 42:9. Ecclesiastes chapter 42 and verse 9. But y'all following along, right? Clear, right? So far. I mean, if y'all have any questions in class online, just on the topic, something you may not get as we're expounding, just ask. Just for the, I know everybody. Okay. Come on. Who got it?
Come.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 42, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
The father waketh for the daughter.
The father does what?
Waketh for the daughter.
Because marriage is a serious thing. He's trying to make sure that his daughter's not, like you read in your, I like their definition. Everybody's definition is correct. He's trying to make sure his daughter don't become a prostitute, which is to become a whore. But he said infamous. She's not known for the wrong reasons. He's trying to make sure she's not known for the wrong reasons. Think about that. The whole town if the whole town heard Mary had a baby by an angel, and the law says about not committing adultery, but then she's saying that her husband is Joseph, people are going to lose their brains.
Right.
They're going to lose their mind hearing something like that. Because why? That would make her infamous. That would make her infamous. That would make her known for the wrong reasons. They don't want that. No Israelite want that. Read.
When no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
Why? Because he's trying to make sure she does not jump around. She does not lose her purity. She don't lose her innocence. Right? But that her innocence is carried on into her marriage, and she matures into this pure woman, this chaste woman. Read.
When she is young, least she pass away the flower of her age.
Right. The flower of her age being her what? Her virginity. Read.
And being married.
And then she's married. Because why? When you lie with a woman, that's when you're married. So we're seeing a couple points in here too now, as we transition into these other verses. It's showing us, it says, least she passed the flower of her age. The flower of her age is her and the man coming together and laying down together. They literally lay down together in a physical, intimate moment right here. In a physical moment setting, where they literally just became husband and wife. They cleaved together. The two became one. And now they're married. So it's also highlighting to us what? That sex is marriage.
God.
It's highlighting that to us as well. Read.
Least she should be hated.
Because why? She'll end up becoming infamous. Known for the wrong reason. Read.
In her virginity.
And I'm gonna get the definition of virgin. So I got that right here. Virgin is what? A young unmarried woman. A virgin is a young unmarried woman. So the reason why this word is so important is because the church, the world, they've made this, just like they've done with John 3:16, where they make you look at the word world as if that's the only definition for the word world. It's the entire humanity. They make you look at it from that sense and not from the biblical context of, okay, what aspect of the word world are we going over right now? Does that definition of the word world fit with the context of the scripture? Well, now we have to do the same thing with the word virgin. We have to go and examine that word virgin to see what context and what aspect of the word virgin was it meaning when it was talking about Mary and this virgin having a child. So we have to read everything in proper context. So we're understanding the language of how the Bible speaks too. That's important to helping you understand that Mary and Joseph actually laid together. They actually had sex, right? That's important as well. So virgin is it can be a young unmarried woman. And the number two definition for virgin could be a young woman of marriageable age. A young woman of marriageable age, whether married or not. Y'all see that? And then it can also be what? Pure and undefiled. So it's just dealing with your literal purity, your conscience, and then you being pure in the sense of not having been touched. Right? So that's the definition of virginity. So let's read that verse 10 again.
Come on, verse 10. In her virginity, least she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house.
Right, because that would have been a shame. That would have been a shame. Just her having a child in her father's house. First, she getting married in her father's house, and then she's having a child in her father's house, and then there was no communication about who this man is. So a couple steps was skipped here, but the father was being careful and watching over his daughter to make sure these steps weren't skipped. That he didn't know that somebody was into her, right? That he didn't know that she was communicating with somebody. He was trying to make sure that all these things wasn't happening. And one of the big things that the scriptures highlight is what? That she didn't just have a child. She didn't get married while having a child in his house, still living there. How much more an angel coming down from heaven? How much more an angel coming down from heaven dealing with a married woman? These are things to consider. Read.
In having a husband, least she should misbehave herself. And when she is married, least she should be barren.
Right, because nothing good can come of an unclean matrimony. What I mean by that is an unclean matrimony is they came together the wrong way. Right? You make it 10 times harder for the order, the structure to be there. Now you got to strive 10 times harder because why? You did everything in the opposite structure of what the scripture says. So the Most High is showing us in this dynamic. When you do things opposite, this dysfunction is bound to come. When you do things out of order, dysfunction will come. Right? When you do things sneaky, dysfunction will come. And how much more the disorder of an angel coming down, trying to impregnate Mary, who's a married woman, who's a woman that was espoused, which is what? Betrothed. Right? And then she's married to Joseph. How much more? We got to just look at these different points of the scripture. It's showing us that certain things can't be overlooked. Because this is basically showing us how to act out the law of Leviticus 19 and 29. There's supposed to be a carefulness when dealing with your children. I know he's talking about the daughter right now, but it's also even with the son. There's supposed to be a carefulness with the sons and the daughters of Israel. They ain't supposed to just be jumping around because it's even a shame for Joseph. Right? You just jumping around? What's going on, Joseph? You don't respect her dad? You gotta remember that. So Joseph, they're both. It's a weighty matter. It's a serious situation, and that much the more for the angel to come down, talk to you, tell you that you're gonna birth the son, the Messiah. This is serious. You got to think about that. We can't just overlook those things. But that's the things that the church had us overlooked. That's the things that had us blinded, that the Most High had to slow us down to really grasp the understanding. Understand that you were tricked. So when waking up to the knowledge and understanding that you were tricked, understand that you're going to learn things that went contrary, that go opposite to what you were taught. Right? There was an apple in the garden. That goes opposite to the Bible. Right? That goes opposite. It was a literal snake. That goes opposite to the Bible. Right? John 3:16. That for God so loved the whole entire world. They say Christ died for the whole world. That's go opposite to the Bible. So you're going to be learning things that go contrary to what you were taught. So how much more details as you keep on learning are you missing out on? What I mean by that is that you didn't know because the church didn't teach you these concepts. But the Most High is bringing those things to our light now so that we can know, so that we can walk confident, so we can walk with assurance. This brings a certain assurance to you because you see in the Most High work. It's like, think about it. We was just a couple of years, everybody was a couple of years ago just calling themselves Haitian. I was calling myself Haitian, Dominican. I'm Dominican, African American. I'm black, right? Some people just say black. Right? We was doing those things a couple years ago, but now the Most High is showing us things that we didn't even know. So there's so many more factors to this understanding of Immaculate Conception and how it's false. Let's not run with something that was taught to us by the Catholic Church, who is known for being pedophiles. Right? These are known pedophiles. Historical, you can type in on Google, YouTube right now. Pedophile history of Catholic Church. That'll pop up quick. And they'll give you a full hour documentary on that. Literally. So why am I going to run somewhere that deals with defilement? And they still doing these things. It's not like, it was like one or two people doing these things, and they kicked them out, got them in prison for life. No, this is the whole sect of the pastors, those popes and pastors. They're all doing it. And then when you look up the news, you'll hear about them getting kicked out the Vatican for being what? Being a pedophile. Then they'll hide their own to make sure that their own don't get caught up by the cops. There was one I seen one on YouTube a couple years ago. He was living in Arizona for years, but he was kicked out of being a pope a pastor because he was pedophile and raping little boys, molesting little boys. Crazy. But these are the people that we're gonna hear out for wisdom, hear out for their knowledge, and still hold on to it when you come into knowledge. We gotta learn to let go. We gotta learn to let's really learn the precepts. Let's really connect with God. Let's really open up the Bible and get the precept upon precept, Bible verse upon Bible verse to get the puzzle piece together. Because that's the job the Most High tasked Israelite men and women with. Put the puzzle together. Put the puzzle together and understand it and use it in your life to make sure that your kids don't have to deal with the curses that you dealt with. That's what the Most High is showing us right now. And that's that carefulness that the dad was watching out for. That's the carefulness a man was watching out for. We're coming out of Egypt. Moses teaching us the law. Right? It's telling us we got to get right. Well, let's go to Deuteronomy 22 and 28.
You done with this one?
Yeah, he's done with that. We get that though, right? That verse. So it says, what thing? Nah. There's a key part. Verse 11. Because we kind of was saying it, but this is the verse that's saying what it's, to show you that the Bible says it's not just talking on the side, right?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 42 in verse 11. Keep a sure watch.
Keep a what?
Sure watch.
So this is the duty of a father and a mother. You're supposed to be mindful of your children at all times. Read.
Over a shameless daughter.
Right, over that much the more over somebody that's shameless, that don't care. They got these tendencies that you see it's whorish. The way they dress, the clothing that they like to pick out when you trying to take them shopping, right? The things that they like to watch on YouTube or TV, right? The music that catches their attention. Like you gotta keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter and a shameless son, right? You see the pants trying to sag. He's trying to sag his pants a little bit. Right. He's sneaking it in there because he knows his dad ain't with it. He knows his mom ain't with it, so he kind of slipping it in there. Like, oh, I ain't have a belt. Oh, I ain't notice it. Right? God. And what he all day he just listening to music. You ain't see him touch his Bible once. He said keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter and a son. Read.
Lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies.
That was very important. That was very important. Not because they were trying to man please, but because they were trying to make sure that the nation, the land wasn't defiled. It said that in Leviticus. It says, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. They didn't want to be the laughing stock because they didn't want to play a part in inviting evil and sin into Israel. They didn't want to do that. So how much the more the story of Mary and Joseph? Read.
And a byword in the city.
A byword, right? People talking down to you. Look at that. The whore, Mary the whore. Look at her. That's what they're gonna say. Mary the whore, Joseph the simp, and Mary the whore. That's what they're going to say. Joseph the simp and Mary the whore. It's true. Literally. Because it's like, you going to let an angel come down and mess with your woman? You don't even got a physical body. What the heck going on, huh? People going to roast him. But he's not, it's true. But they're thinking about not letting whoredom into the land. That's what's going on in people's mind. When they're saying, at least you become a laughing stock to your enemies. And a byword. Read.
And a reproach among the people.
Because when it's like, just like it says, when you see that evil going on, it's like right now, when somebody's smoking a blunt next to you, how do you feel? How do y'all feel when somebody's smoking a blunt next to you? Or you see a sister wearing makeup like an overabundance of it to where it's like, it's just, come on now. Right. I understand highlights and, you know, you doing a little with the powder thing, right? You on the cheek. And then that a little bit. But come on, you're ODing it now. When you see that, how does that make y'all feel? Question.
It made me feel bad. Made me feel bad for them because I've been there before.
Right.
You know, weed situation.
Right.
And like another feeling is like disgusted.
Yeah. And it's the two sides because we know where we come from too, right?
Yeah.
It's the two sides, but then when you're away from it, you're like, I don't want that no more. So that's what it's saying. It's gonna be a reproach. Because especially in this time where that wasn't a normal thing for us, right. People was striving. They literally cared about making sure that they didn't have a whore's daughter. That is even magnified. That's why it says a weighty matter. Read.
And make thee ashamed before the multitude.
Right, and now you're ashamed because of the fault that you did. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 22 and 28. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 28.
Go ahead.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin.
Well, everybody's there, right? Okay. Read that again.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin.
So now we got this young unmarried woman, right? She's of marriageable age and she's not married. She's still pure. Read.
Which is not betrothed. And lay hold on her.
And she's not betrothed. That means she's open. It's not, you wouldn't be in the wrong if you desired her, right? If you desired to pursue her. Read.
And lie with her. And they be found. Then the man.
So now he laid hold on her and he lied with her. That means they slept together. They lay together and now they're married. Read. But that's showing us what? Because this is the law. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 28. This is the law, so it's showing us that they had sex. They slept together. So this is showing us the determination of how we identify, according to the Bible, according to Hebrew culture, according to Israelite life, according to Israelite law, how you identify somebody as a husband and a wife. Read.
Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
Right? And that was a part of the marriage, the 50 shekels. So there's nothing wrong with that. They had that at that time. They had that. Our people was well off. Right? When you see the Bill Gates and they well off and they can do whatever for their kids, financially, on that sense, they can't do it spiritually because they don't got the spirit, right?
Right.
But on a financial sense, Israelites was like that too. Times 10. They was well off. Read.
And she shall be his wife. Because she.
Wait, read that part again.
And she shall be his wife.
But what events took part before that moment? They found each other, they got together, laid together, and then he had to give the father because they laid together. Right? But the key part is that they laid together. And then it's like, okay, now she has to be your wife. She has to be your wife because when you lay with somebody, that person becomes your spouse. Right? Your married, your wife or your husband, vice versa, right? So the Most High is showing us in this instance, this is what marriage really is. In the sense of what consummates it, what consecrated in his eyes, it's y'all laying together. Right? You and that person sleeping together. So you can drop that. So that's that point. Just on this aspect of showing how we identify marriage according to Israelite law. So according to Israelite law, marriage was taken serious in a point where you weren't just going to whore out your daughter, you were going to marry her. But we find out leading toward the end in Ecclesiastes 42 and in Deuteronomy 22 and 29, 28 and 29, that what marriage is when the person lies together. So let's go to the second point, right? You can only, two customary practices for marriage. 2 customary practices for marriage. So this is the second point. 2 customary practices for marriage. And this one's a short point. It's just 3 verses. So this is going to go straight into it. 3 verses just to show us what? When they lay together, they're married, but then who was involved in the marriage process.
What's this point again? I'm sorry.
This is 2 customary practices for marriage. So we identified what marriage was according to Hebrew law, which is a man and a woman lying together. Now we're at the point where we're showing 2 customary practices for marriage. Who was involved in the marriage? Go to Judges chapter 14, verse 2. So the point is 2 customary practices for marriage. Right. But y'all are seeing the points though, right? And why we going to these specific verses with the class, right? Con? Or live? I mean, what are y'all seeing? Just I want to make sure that y'all are seeing the reason why we're going through these specific points with the verses.
Well, there's a specific order on how things should be done. How the Most High ordained it.
Right. And I want to make sure too. I'm gonna throw this in there, as it pertains to the topic of showing how Mary and Joseph actually lied together. That it wasn't an angel coming in and impregnating Mary with the Christ. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's a way the Most High ordained things to go, and if that was to happen, if an angel came down and laid with Mary, that would be going off according to the scriptures.
Yeah, that would be off. Yeah, but then it also showing us that they literally laid together. Joseph and Mary.
And it's showing how the scriptures are set up and how it's showing both too how to like if you did pursue a wife, what order you would do it in. This was the order back then. You're not gonna just like nowadays in the time we're in. You're not gonna just I like that girl. I gotta get that.
Right.
Or I like that man. I gotta get around them, so
I gotta do it now.
Yeah.
I'm burning.
It was an order structure, how you went about it.
Yeah.
And that's what you're giving us right now through the law of how you went about marriage, courting. You got the infatuation, but now in your mind is let me get to know this person. Let me court.
Right.
Let me not just lay with them first, because that's a weightier matter.
Come on. Yeah.
Not a life thing.
Because that's a life-changing moment.
Yeah.
Because that's your lifetime partner. That's your lifetime. That's your life. This is the life, right? That's your lifetime spouse. So the Most High saying, you chose this person. You chose to lay down with this person. That person chose to lay down with you. Let's work through it. The Most High said, let's build. Let's take the steps to develop together, right? You doing your job as the husband. The wife doing her job as the spouse. Let's work things through. Let's figure this out together. We're a team. So, but right on point. So we're gonna go into the second point, which is 2 customary practices of marriage. Judges chapter 14, verse 2. Judges chapter 14, verse 2. And using these examples, right? What was involved? What played a crucial part with a man and a woman becoming husband and wife? Read that.
Judges chapter 14, verse 2.
And what was important to our people? What was important to the children at a certain point in time? Read.
And he came up and told his father and his mother.
Well, let's read up one verse. That's Judges.
Verse 1.
And
Samson went down to Timnath.
So we're talking about Samson. Read.
And saw a woman in Timnath. Of the daughters of the Philistines.
Right. He should have been, his parents was the whole time trying to show him, go deal with the daughter of your people. But Samson was urging on this, right? But let's not lose the point of why we're going to this verse. It's showing us the customary practice in his life marriage. Read.
And he came up.
So this is Samson came up. Read.
And told his father and his mother.
So mind you, he saw a woman, but he didn't just approach her. He saw a woman that he liked. He should have seen one of his women, a woman of his tribe, but he saw a woman of a nation that he liked. And what about this is significant? It's verse 2. He came up and told what?
Told his father and his mother.
So he told his mom and his dad. Our people ain't doing that nowadays. They see the dude at high school that they like. They know their dad is like, don't focus on guys now. Don't focus on women now. Focus on graduating high school. But they slipping around, messing with Sarah, slipping around, messing with John, and not considering what their parents would think of this man. Not considering, is this somebody that your parents see as respectable? Is this boy, this girl, do they care about God's word? Do they care about the Bible? Right? That's what our people cared about at one point in time. Now, Samson his parents were kept on trying to redirect him to deal with an Israelite woman, but he at least had the decency enough to be conscious of this aspect of what Israelites do. They allow the parents to orchestrate these things. Read? To play a part and a role in orchestrating these things, right? So it says he told his father and his mother. And that's significant to why that's connected to the story of Mary and Joseph. So there's a reason why we went there briefly. It's connected to that story. So he told his father and his mother, read.
And said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines.
Mm-hmm.
Now, therefore, get her for me to wife.
He said what?
Get her for me to wife.
He said, get her for me to wife. So he's showing us what? To some degree, he valued his parents' what? Opinion. Right? And then he knew that the respectable, honorable way that they would acknowledge it, even so, right, would be the parents coming and communicating. But nowadays, that's not so. But this plays a part with Joseph and Mary's story. You see that? So let's go to Genesis chapter 24 and verse 67. Genesis chapter 24 and verse 67. Who got it? Genesis chapter 24 verse 67. But it's just showing us that all these different factors that the world told us to, if y'all seen, just even with this verse, at this point, it's showing us all these different factors that the world taught us to ignore. Let me ask y'all this. Did y'all consider, like, growing up, did y'all consider your parents' opinion with a spouse? Brothers and sisters? No, why not? Go ahead.
I don't care. I did what I wanted to do.
He said what?
I did what I wanted to do. I ain't care.
No, you didn't care what your mom think. You didn't care if she liked your rib or nothing. No, okay. You just didn't care. You just flat out didn't care. How about go ahead, Sister Bree. And then I'll come to you, right?
Just seeing her people she chose.
Oh, okay. That's the reason?
You see my father, you chose him to be with him.
Oh, okay. Okay, see, y'all didn't like the choices that your parents was making. So y'all was like, I'm good. Go ahead. Was that it? Okay, what you just say you're right. Oh, you got one, Bree?
I mean.
Oh, I thought you was about to do a hand raise. You got something. You always got something. Go ahead.
In somewhat case I did, but I always brought them to the house to meet my mom.
Oh, okay.
But she always had an opinion, and a lot of her opinions she was right at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I'm like, oh yeah, that's not the girl. That's not the girl for you.
Right.
When Bree started, coming around, they always he's like, yo, Bree's she's a good woman, she's a good girl. Or they'll always ask about Bree, stuff like that. But she never stirred me the wrong way when it comes to
a situation.
Yeah, situation, kind of.
Right. Okay. So you didn't necessarily consciously devalue it or value it. It's just kind of naturally you would just consider what they're saying.
Yeah, I consider a lot of what she was saying. I ain't never, been around my dad at that age when I started dating, but from my mom's standpoint, she always been like correct about a lot of things or on point about a lot of things.
With those instances, with those
yeah, kind of
dealings,
yeah,
different sisters that you cross paths with over the years.
Kind of.
All right. Okay. What you about to say? You're right.
Man, it was always, with my mom, was always a commentary before, after, and sometimes in their face.
What you mean?
Cause she was an intimidated lady. How she looks, you know, she's from Manhattan, so she got that like that Manhattan look, like that bulldog look, like I get with you. And that's what they always tell me. Why your mom look so mean? And she don't like me. They already just said, and then she'll tell me later, I don't like that. She look like a skank. Why you with her? You know, like I don't like her. Why you pick her? That's wrong. She'll just be like that. And then sometimes she be wrong. Mm-hmm. Sometimes she be right. I'm like, Mom, you don't even know her. Yeah. I just didn't. She look sneaky. I don't like that.
Right.
I might have to hide my jewelry.
She said that for real?
Yeah, she even know.
Hey, so she being rude.
It was I think like at least three girls. One I talked to actually like of course this Amani, this girl named Amani, Vanna, and Bree. So those are only, you know, but everybody else, she talking, she let them know. Sometimes in front of their face, she let them know.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she definitely looking. She was like you.
She's definitely straight.
So I ain't really take counsel on that level from her, cause.
Okay. But that made you.
Nah.
So even when she would say those things, you wouldn't take it to heart at all.
Nah, cause it was just like she's going with her feelings, and I'm like, sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's right. You don't even like. She even come around enough for you to even make that judgment call, assessment. So I was like in that manner.
Yeah. You had something?
Oh no, I was gonna say like at first I said no because I never dated anybody in the world, so I didn't have that experience. But I did used to value like what my parents said, like who you should bring home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like if they gave you a criteria?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say used to though.
Oh, you said there you go. There you go.
Not like that, but.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Probably had many dreams.
For
real. Expectations.
Con.
You know, just on that point, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you think about it, we just talked about it. How everybody's parents, or what is it? How you felt by allowing your parents to kind of vet, right? But think about it not happening. That's why the scripture says, and the scripture is more profound when you think about it.
Yeah.
For the lack of knowledge, what does it say?
Oh, my people are destroyed.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. It's like, think about how much heartache and pain we've been through the years because we didn't learn the ways of the Father. You know what I'm saying? To cause now our relationships to go smoother. It's crazy. You know, but those verses hit harder because, I mean, listen, we wouldn't have to be where we're at today. No. You know, the situations, you got sisters kicked out of cars, you know, you getting choked out, right? You got men getting beat up on, you know, crazy situations because the vetting process wasn't there. Yeah. You know, truly honoring marriage, honoring, you know, a relationship, it wasn't there. Right. You know, what were we ever know?
Genesis.
Yeah, you know, and just this point about how the father and the mother, right? Primarily the father was the one that was now making sure his son was going to be with a suitable spouse. Yeah. A lot of brothers and sisters are not suitable. You're not suitable. You're not suitable. A lot of brothers and sisters are not suitable. God. This is why we need the wisdom. This is why we have to learn how to be a husband, how to be a wife. You know? And a lot of these parents, they had the spidey sense. Right. Because they knew already. They know what a hoe look like. Right. They know the nigga that don't care about you. They know how, man, my daughter out here dressed any kind of way, so any kind of man's gonna like her. Yeah. You know, they know those things. So, you know, when we heard, oh, that she's not for you, oh, you just hating on my swag. You know what I'm saying? You just trying to take away from, you know, what I got going on. In actuality, they were reading them. Yeah. You know, and we didn't see it because we was dumb, right? Yeah. And in love. And in the infatuation phase to where 6 months later, what happened? Relationship over. Right? 9 months later, y'all having physical altercations now. Y'all trying to choke each other out in the car. I already told you it wasn't going to work. But look at you now. Man. Black eye. God. Right? Cardi B and Offset. Oh, yeah. Right? Snapping on each other now. Who eyes? Because y'all both weren't good for each other, man. Unfortunately. You know, as they say, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
You know, that's why this class is so important because, you know, Mary and Joseph, man, you know, they were built up the right way.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to see that through the scriptures.
Yeah.
Through the wisdom, through the knowledge of how our culture allowed relationships to be cultivated the right way to last. Because we went there, and the law is that whenever you got with your woman, got with your man, that was supposed to last forever. You know, you got people doing prenups now. Like, why even get a prenup for? Why get a prenup when you get with somebody? You already putting in the atmosphere, you know, for all those. You know, you put in the atmosphere right about what? That relationship failing.
Yeah.
So I need to have precautions just in case, right? To be able to, you know, you ain't gonna take everything I got.
No.
Right?
Give it to your mom.
Right, like the soccer player, whatever his name is, that everything was in his mom's name.
Yeah.
So when the wife now tried to divorce him, she had nothing.
Yeah, they say he planned it even before they got officially married.
Look at that. It's like, but it shows that you didn't know that person. Right? It shows that she was just a cute face, thin waist, right, with a big behind. I need a dime.
Right.
That's top of the line. What is top of the line? Is it in morals? Is it in their, you know, their understanding of life and relationship, or is it about just turn up? And that's what this life is about, turn up partners. You know, we can go on vacation, but what's going on in the vacation? Then don't let the pictures fool you. It's chaotic in them relationships. Why? Because they don't know each other, man. They don't know how to now take the time to walk through their issues, to work through their issues, right? They don't even know how to communicate. The only time that they can communicate is when they're drunk. It's when they're under the influence. That's the only time now. When we fading, we can talk, but we're not even speaking in our right mind.
No.
We're speaking out of emotion. I'm talking to Gilbert because of what Ron did to me, but Gilbert don't know that because Ron is still in my mind, and Gilbert just did something that reminded me of Ron.
Wow.
So now I'm taking that on Gilbert.
Flare up.
And now because Shirley, right? Shirley is in my life. You know, Rachel done did me dirty. Now I got insecurities with Shirley. We wouldn't have to go through that, like, if we now vetted and went through the standard of the Father the right way. This is what we're learning now to be able to teach to our children. To now be open and comfortable enough to do what? Hey, Dad, this is what I was thinking. Hey, Mom. And Most High willing, it wouldn't even be no, this is what I'm thinking. Like, I want a brother and sister in the body. I want a brother or sister in the faith. Right? Not a knucklehead sandwich out there, you know what I'm saying, doing foolishness. You want somebody like-minded. Does thou have a wife after your mind? A lot of brothers don't think that. You're not thinking about that when you look at a woman. Is she after mom? Could she be after my mind?
Yeah.
No, you after that booty. Right? You after the muscles. She's after the image.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired of being lonely. It's Thanksgiving time. It's Christmas time. I need a boyfriend for pictures. That's our people, right? You know what I'm saying? And you end up dead now because you got with a psycho. You try to divorce him, and now he can't let you go now. Yeah. Nobody can have you, Brenda. Brenda's dead, and he's dead now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's Young Miami and Diddy.
Yeah, Young Miami and Diddy.
Yeah,
she love him too, man. She love that nastiness.
Yeah, like everybody, they all know the stories of Diddy. Like you can see 1,000 different people talking about Diddy the same way, but a different story.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Right. Some people gonna celebrate about it, but they probably into the creepy stuff.
Yeah, but why? They've been turned out already.
Yeah.
They done been found alone. They done been turned out. Right? They've been, there was no supervising of those women, no supervising of the young boys.
No.
So now they what? They got now a taste of the flesh. They got a taste of that lustful life.
Wow.
And look what's happening now. It's crumbling.
Yeah.
Right? And when that flesh conceives, what? Death comes. Death is around the corner for a lot of these cats, man.
Yeah, and that's the whole importance of, we have feast days, we have our celebratory moments, but versus the world, you know, because it says regulating their actions and their social actions. There's no regulation at a house party.
No, not with Diddy.
No,
not with the liquid ecstasy.
No. There's no regulation at a reggaeton spot, right?
Right. There you go.
There's no regulations at a Benjamin spot.
You don't know who you got rubbing up on you.
No.
Probably full blown on a period now.
And that's the stories you hear though. He was dancing, and he seen red on his shirt.
Right. Or you was with somebody that was already in a relationship with somebody that was crazy, but she's only your business partner, but the crazy man don't know that she's your business partner. So when he pulls up, because he still got her location, he pull up and wants some answers. But the chick is like, you ain't my man. But he think he is your man. So all I can do is what? Squeeze the trigger. I'm going to kill you and I'm going to get killed. True story here in Rochester. Less than a year ago. Out of jealousy, this man was a so-called, the sister's business partner, and he come up on the jealous tips. He said that wasn't, they said that wasn't even her man. But he went up there, blaze of glory, and they both went out. And now she's sitting there looking what? Sick. Well, I guess you would call it murder-suicide. He was really trying to murder the guy, but got murdered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't kill himself. They both shot each other. He shot the man, and the man shot him back, and they both died on scene.
That's like the Romeo and Juliet?
This is Rochester.
That's crazy.
S&T's, man, the juke joint. Yeah.
That's my cousin, baby dad.
Right, there you go. Your cousin's baby daddy. Right, your cousin's father. Which one? The one that came over, the one that was with her?
No, that's her niece. Her.
I'm confused now. Wait a minute.
The one you talking about from your street speaking?
No, I'm talking about S&T's.
Oh, no. I thought you was... But they're related, though. That's side.
Oh, no, you talking about the car crash?
No, we were street speaking. Not street speaking, flyers, remember?
You talking about at the carnival?
Yeah.
What you talking about? I'm confused
No,
now.
I thought you was talking about her, but she's from that side of the family, though. The one from
Oh,
S&T.
so that was the sister that the two men who got killed over the S&T's?
That was her.
Oh, that was her relatives that got killed.
Yeah.
That was her baby daddy that got killed.
Yeah.
Right, he's over there in somebody else's business.
So the way you explained it was true. So I guess, he got jealous or whatever, seeing her with another dude.
Right.
And
Got the drop.
Yep.
I bet. You don't know who you have, man. Like we got another brother, man, whose grandmother was playing cards with a serial killer in Rochester. He was riding up and down excuse me. Riding up and down this street right here, Lyle Ave. Killing all the prostitutes in 1980s, man. But what did Grandma say about the serial killer?
Yeah, he was such a nice guy.
He was such a nice guy, because that's how they start off.
Yeah.
You never see him, on the edge. You never see him in his true nature. That was just the acting show. That was his methodical time to really see and calculate, is you going to be his next victim?
Wow.
But a lot of our people think, what? I'm just going on a Tinder date.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They said they're going to take me to Taste of Thailand or whatever, or Tapas, or, these different bars and clubs. And you didn't know, when you went to the bathroom and he ordered you that water, she ordered you that water, they threw a little bit of that Mickey juice in it, Mickey dust. And now you what? Like they said at Diddy party, you just lost all motions of your body.
Yeah, you don't know what happened.
You don't know what happened, and now you looking sick.
Yeah, your legs noodle.
Right, you all you see is smiling teeth.
Right,
he dancing all over you. Right? Like, and you hear music. What is going on?
That's crazy, man.
But this is why the Most High put safety safety measures so that we won't be defiled. That was the point about not prostituting your daughter. We're not trying to defile our people. But with the lack of understanding, actually caring and being over them, being a hedge, you know what I'm saying? That protects our people. But take that away. You can do whatever you want to. Babe, daughter, son, it's your choice. That's America's idea. And look what's happened to us, man. Right? Look what happened to Beaver, man.
Oh, wow.
With just leave him with anybody. Look what happened. Right? He was with Diddy for 48 hours and was never right after that. Right? I did it all for a car.
It's crazy.
In a house. See, but if parents were on top of their children the biblical way, listen, a lot of our people won't have the pain and the trauma that they have in their life that now affects their present day relationship. A lot of trauma, it affects brothers and sisters' present day relationship because it's undealt with, right? So, what we're going over is heavy. You really look at it.
Colin.
Where you at?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, we can part two it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So that'll be it for
Any questions? Okay.
right. Oh, let me take the. Right. That'll be it for tonight. We're gonna part two this class. It's a good one. You don't want to rush through it because it's minor points that you don't want to go over the head. That solidifies it when you're talking to somebody else and they try to present the idea of Christ did come of an angel. So, but there's little points that you don't want to miss. Definitions, Bible verses, what they say out their own mouth, and just hearing about the law and just just different perspectives that comes along with this topic. You don't want to rush it, so we're gonna part two it. We're gonna part two it. It's a good part two. So it stopped at a good point. We don't want to do that. We want to give them a whole morsel of meat. Yeah, we don't want to give them a piece of a pie. Crumbs. That's for the nations. But it's true. It's true. But that would be class for tonight. So we're gonna say to everybody online, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.